The YSL RICO trial just changed forever with Young Thug accepting a plea deal. It would be announced the state is recommending Young Thug is sentenced to 45 years with 25 to serve.
And Mr. Williams, were you aware of the state's previous offer that was turned down prior to your making this non-negotiated plea?
Yes.
All right. And Your Honor, at this time, the state is making a recommendation of 45 years with 25 to serve in custody, followed by 20 on probation, subject to the special requirements of 1615 the gang statute.
The state had an amazing offer to Young Thug and his lawyer. He even would have been home today, as the report reads. He could have come home today if he accepted to previous offer, but he did not agree to the special conditions.
Would have been released today for 15 years on probation. If he successfully completes that probation, then he would not have to go to custody. If he did not, he'd face probation revocation as well as 23 years, as a court said, backloaded in the Georgia prison system. But we could not come to terms on all the conditions that the district attorney was insisting upon.
Okay.
This ended with Young Thug's lawyer Brian Steele announcing to the courtroom what Young Thug is willing to accept. As it reports, Thug pleads no contest to the RICO count and the gang leader count. The rest he pleads guilty.
One, which is the racketeering conspiracy count, Mr. Williams is tendering a plea under nolo contendere. As to count 56, which is participation in a criminal street gang activity as being a leader or a supervisor or organizer, Mr. Williams is also tendering a plea to this honorable court as under nolo contendere. The balance of the counts, so he is tendering a guilty plea.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
would the court like to hear from the state or not?
About the NOLO issues?
Yes.
Sure.
Your Honor, the state asked that the court not accept a NOLO plea and require either a guilty plea or a not guilty plea as to these charges.
All right. I'm going to permit a NOLO plea as to counts 1 and 56.
All right.
Today was the biggest day of the YSL RICO trial. When it was announced, 2 more of Young Thug's co-defendants in the YSL RICO case have accepted plea deals, Rolling Stone reports. On Wednesday, October 29th, Ryan pleaded guilty to conspiracy to violate Georgia's RICO law. He was sentenced to 10 years and commuted to time served. He is already serving life for a 2019 case. Marquavius also pleaded guilty to conspiracy to violate Georgia's RICO Act and robbery. He was sentenced to 25 years, 9 years in custody, 9 on probation, and 5 years suspended. Young Thug, Yak Gotti Kendrick, and Shannon Stillwell are now the only defendants left on the case. Right after accepting the plea deals, their lawyers were outside of the courthouse, showing love for Young Thug.
We appreciate what everybody says.
Any message to the rest of the defense attorneys still fighting for their clients in this case?
Good luck. You know,
But to understand Young Thug's release date, you need to read the report of Young Thug and his lawyers have rejected a plea deal from DA Fani Willis. They've countered with a plea deal asking Fani Willis for probation. Fani Willis has yet to counter, meaning Young Thug does have a plea deal made, which led to a lawyer close to the YSL RICO trial announcing, attorneys for multiple YSL defendants say they have made counteroffers for plea deals, and they're on DA Fani Willis's desk for approval right now. Because with Fani Willis seeing how the trial's playing out, lawyers suggest a plea deal is possible. As it started with rapper Slime Life Shawty, who was once signed to Lil Durk's label, recently took the stand in the YSL RICO trial and admitted that he and others treated YSL like a gang.
Outside of the music, is YSL a gang?
You said outside of the music?
Yes, sir.
Some people treat it like that.
What do you treat it as?
I treated it that way before.
You treated it as a gang before?
Yeah.
When did you stop treating it as a gang?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
You said you don't know. And when you say you treated it as a gang, what do you mean? How old were you when you joined YSL, the gang?
Can you tell me what you mean by like join? Like, are you talking about?
What would you consider joining?
I'm saying, like, do you mean join like, cause you know, like to get in the gang, you join the gang, like you get up or something like that.
How did you become a member of YSL?
My music got popping and I became a known face. in my neighborhood.
Yet this is nothing new. The judge continues to stress to prosecutor Love that she needs the physical evidence to back up the claim. The prosecutors got angry after the judge didn't side with them, which created a large argument in court, sharing, "This is the most preposterous thing I've heard in the YSL trial." Judge says, "What I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness so everybody hasn't wasted 10 to 12 months of their lives in this trial."
Trying to do is fix your sloppiness so that everybody won't have wasted, 10, 12 months of their lives in this trial. Okay, do it now.
But this was a big mess up by the judge here because she's not supposed to be fixing up the prosecutor's sloppiness. With the judge once again helping the state in this case, Young Thug's lawyers got angry and demanded a mistrial. As we'd hear again from the report stating, judge makes it clear there is no chance of a mistrial with prejudice, but leaves the possibility open for a mistrial without prejudice. Nicole says she would be good with that at this stage. The rest of the lawyers are discussing if they agree.
So are you asking, what kind of a mistrial are you asking for?
Your Honor, I believe that we were goaded into the mistrial.
Okay, well, I do not believe that, because if you had seen Miss Hilton's face when that came out of the witness's mouth, she was appalled, and I do not believe that they are purposefully trying to insert error into this trial to make y'all ask for a mistrial so that they can try this case again. I think it is continued, and I am sorry. Y'all have, this ginormous universe of evidence that maybe if you narrowed down, you would not be making these kinds of mistakes. But I believe that to be a mistake.
Your Honor,
so I'm going to deny a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. That one, I don't believe that the facts bear out. Would you like a mistrial without prejudice?
Which only continues to add how unprofessional the courtroom has been. From the judge saying there's no mistrial, but moments later saying there's actually a possibility of one. With the Young Thug trial being insane the last couple of weeks, from constant arguments and back and forths with the prosecutors, it caught the attention of some rappers and their reactions. Because 4-2 Doug had this to share.
Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think that's been?
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. The shit with the judge that just happened was crazy, like trying to send his lawyer to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
We also saw Lil Baby stand by Thug tweeting, "Thug about to come home for life. This madness needs to end today." However, we'd also hear from Boosie during the YNW Melly trial. Even though they're not the same case, it feels like what Boosie had to say about Melly applies directly to Young Thug, which is, if the feds want you, they will keep you.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah. They could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
Although it's good to report that Young Thug's team has been doing pretty well in the trial, the prosecutors are beginning to lose some of their key witnesses in the case, which may result in deals being given to Thug for his release. As we'd hear that Thug's lawyer wants a full release plea deal made, a sanction in the YSL trial. The judge struck all testimony from a retired gang cop who said on the stand that a defendant was in and out of jail. He also can't testify again. You can tell from the DA nearly begging her to reconsider that this is not good for them.
I am finding that this was not intentionally elicited on the part of the state. However, I also am finding that this witness, as a law enforcement officer, should have known better than to make any mention of it. It is, however, significant that one of the charges against Mr. Kendrick in this indictment is that he is a convicted felon. Were it not for that, I would grant the mistrial motion. But given that this jury already knows that he's been convicted and is a convicted felon anyway, even without this testimony, I don't think that a mistrial is warranted. I am, however, going to give a curative instruction and as a sanction for this having occurred that's the end of the testimony from this witness. There's going to be no more testimony from him. So,
with testimony from the cop being struck, it continues to look better for young Thug. Just after that, we'd also reported the judge says she would have granted the mistrial motion, but because one of Yak's charges has him being a convicted felon already, the damage is limited. However, she rules as a sanction, meaning the state is no longer allowed to question their witness, meaning another witness is unable to provide testimony against Thug or other YSL members. The more that young Thug's team can do this and find issues with certain witnesses testifying, it continues to destroy the state's case even more. But regardless, it's looking better for young Thug. We'd also see Charleston White react, sharing that he thinks young Thug will never be released and will continue to find ways to keep him.
Thug won't out, he ain't even been gone 2 months yet. I'm almost willing to bet. I'm almost willing to bet with any rapper, if they keep young Thug locked up 6 more months in the conditions he in, he'll tell to get out of jail too. They keep him 6 more months, locked up in them conditions like that there, he'll tell to get out of jail too. Yeah, I tell you ain't never, man, God ain't gonna never let you out of prison. Cause he wasn't talking like another is talking. Yeah, boy, after 30 years, that got that bald spot. He got all them gray whiskers up under his beard. That used to be my color. That light yellow now, because he don't get a lot of sunlight. Yeah.
However, the next situation that happened in court would likely end in a mistrial too, yet they continue to drag on the YSL case. As we'd see it announced, YSL prosecutor Fani Willis has sent attorney Adam Abbott down to the YSL RICO case to fill in District Attorney Love's seat as first chair, meaning Love is being replaced as the main prosecutor running the case due to how bad she's been. But it's also because of reports that the YSL trial is being investigated for case corruption and how prosecutor Love spoke against young Thug. For context, prosecutor Love was claiming young Thug was doing illegal activities to chase money.
what suggests that he is doing anything illegal by chasing that money?
Your Honor.
Isn't that what pretty much all of us who aren't independently wealthy have to do every day of our lives?
Your Honor, I'm not saying that it is with certainty that this is what he is saying. What I'm saying is that it is evidence that tends to, or that has a tendency to make a portion of our assertions or our allegations in the indictment true to the extent that it is relevant that he made or said that, made that statement on that posting. He is representing YSL. He is.
I mean, obviously, you know, it's all over his body, but how is the post, the language representing YSL?
Even the judge defended young Thug by saying what suggests that he is doing anything illegal by chasing that money. Isn't that something we all do? Because Love continued to hint about the type of man young Thug is, saying he's the type to chase money illegally, and many online looked at it as young Thug's color of skin and who he was hanging around with. As one commenter posted, "Crazy. If young Thug was white, I bet no one in the law system would accuse him of chasing money by doing something illegal." But just after this report, young Thug's team responded with audio proof that Thug doesn't do anything bad with his money. It was reported, gang member on a wiretap complaining that young Thug is the richest young man in Atlanta, Georgia, but he refuses to put any money back into the streets, showing that even people in the street know he makes his money the right way and doesn't put it into the street.
We was just talking about we was just really talking about Spider, like how Charlotte got all these goddamn paper, but really letting these folks really just get the really ups on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way, bro. Like just being real, bro. Ain't no young his age. Charlotte the richest young in Atlanta, Georgia, bro. Ain't you having more money than Charlotte, bro? Yeah. Nah, he age now. Like, come on, bro. Ain't having that much more money than Charlotte, bro. Charlotte supposed to be having shit. Charlotte supposed to be clean shit up, bro. Like, no, man, Charlotte supposed to be clean shit up, bro.
But like, you just look, just see how it is now. Like, and they got some corny him, bro. When we was around him, bro, like, you know, we still gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna do it anyway, but like,
yeah,
you feel me? Like, man, damn.
Shit ain't right though.
But not long after in court, it only got better for young Thug, because the judge went off on prosecutor Love by sharing, "It is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have continues to seemingly purposely hide the ball for as long as you possibly can. And I don't want to believe that it is purposeful, unless it is that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it." Judge then had to leave the bench to take some deep breaths.
I mean, I can't figure out what it is
if it's disingenuous, if it is that, I mean, I don't want to, the prosecutor standing in front of me right now, so I'm not going to say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful, but honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it.
Just before this happened, Prosecutor Love made the YSL RICO trial look like a joke when bringing their witness Quindarius Zachary to the stand. He opened his statement by hitting on an attractive investigator and asking the judge if she's going to supervise him at his hotel that night.
For you to whichever hotel this is, they end up putting. Can it be what? I don't know whether it's going to be that particular investigator or not. It might be, it might not be. It's not going to be up to me.
Weirdly enough, the judge starts laughing at what the witness said, but the next thing QZ did was insane. While he was on the stand, it was reported QZ says he no longer wants his lawyer because he feels like he's working for the state. He said he doesn't think he needs a lawyer at all and will be back Monday without one.
You don't want that lawyer anymore. All right, well, let me say this. When you come back on Monday, it may be that you want a lawyer. You don't feel like you need any kind of lawyer whatsoever. So what if things change on Monday? All right.
Once it was clear QZ wasn't being serious on the stand and making a joke of the courtroom, the judge kicked him off and asked the prosecutors to present their next witness. However, they didn't prepare anymore for the day, making the judge angry with the state.
One of the things I wanted to inquire of one of our investigators about their efforts to secure one of the witnesses and the difficulty that we have had with respect to that witness. I expect that witness will be coming in. It's the one that we've been discussing, but I think it's pertinent information.
Not right now, and frankly, it doesn't matter if you have a particular witness. What you have been instructed is to have enough witnesses to fill the day. Okay, so if one witness is difficult, then you need to have another one lined up. Let's get the jury, please.